All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First thing I want to do is announce, we talked this morning in work session about the holiday, the commissioner meeting schedule over the holidays, and we've decided to have a regular meeting on Wednesday the 26th, and then again on Wednesday, January 2nd. Same time as normal, work session at 10 and regular meeting at 1.
You should probably vote on that.
Oh, okay, that has to be.
I make a motion to approve those hours.
Days
and hours.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed 3-0. That will be our schedule. Did everyone have a chance to read the minutes?
I did. They were fine to me. I make a motion to approve.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes as written. All, excuse me. Everybody vote. 5.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Pass 3-0. Excuse me. Tickle. Commissioner comments and committee reports. Jack, did you have anything?
Well, I think Commissioner Pohl asked me a week or two ago about Mid-American Regional Council. We have a $10,000 budget to pay the dues. I had a conversation with the Atchison City Manager. She said that they're still, we're still dating. We're getting all the benefits of being a member. Right now we're not paying dues. So I think she kind of felt like they're not asking us for anything, let's don't offer it until they ask us. So I don't know if that's a good enough answer, but I believe our county people are using it, the city's using it, so we're benefiting from it.
Okay. Yeah, as long as I was kind of curious on if we are utilizing it and participating. So that's where my personal.
We'd have to pull our county people together. I know that Roger and several, I think Wes and other people have been using it, but I haven't heard about much lately. And since I think a city commissioner goes under there every other Monday. No, every other Tuesdays. It's on Tuesdays.
It's on Tuesday.
So we haven't been able to go because we have a meeting on Tuesday. Maybe sometime we might want to send someone just so they can show up. So
yeah, be up to
you might talk to Sean about that because I think he's attending for the city.
Okay. Anything else?
I had a project concern meeting scheduled, but they rescheduled. So
okay.
They haven't set a date yet.
I have nothing to report. Okay, we have canvas at 1:45, so we've got a lot of time here.
I think goes the rest of the agenda. Can't we tell?
No.
Any new business?
Any new business? I'll skip over that. I don't think there was any.
We have the discussion about the snowplow.
So there's a couple of things we'll do here. Okay, this morning we had interested parties. Do you want to see that again?
No, I don't see it. Well, I might need to make a motion.
We had tabled 2 weeks ago about the snow plow. We had Seth and Joe Bowen come in and talked about who is doing what, responsible for what areas, and then we also talked about the need for a snow plow on the pickup, which is used by Joe Bowen. The bids, is it the top one here? Is this a little bid? 4487.
Yeah. You might point out that we're trying to answer the questions about snow. If when, how much. Nobody could actually answer those questions. So we're kind of being prepared for any event.
Yes, there are some overlaps, which is fine. I mean, it's good that each person involved was, maybe go to senior village, or there was some overlap, but yet that's to be expected. I mean, as each individual would get done with their normal duties, they would check on the next plowing situation. So anyway, the low bid for a plow for the new pickup used by Joe Bone is an amount of $4,487.55. Mynut, am I spelling that right? Saying that right? M-Y-N-A-T-T, truck and equipment from Olathe.
I make a motion to approve the purchase of this.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the snowplow to Mynut equipment. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
We didn't really get into details, but the way I took it, we're going to sell the plow with the old pickup and be done with it. Probably
Yeah, I believe that's
Purple Wave, probably.
Purple Wave. The old pickup is, I think, scheduled to be put on shortly. Okay, we also have county membership dues to NACO, the National Association of Counties, an amount of $450. Is there any discussion on that?
Is anybody from the county participating in their meetings, or?
I know I haven't, not for NACO. I've utilized maybe and read their
Is that the one Mr. Bond's in charge of? NACO.
I believe so. They do send some emails out and things like that. There are programs to participate in. I don't know if we're really taking advantage of those.
$450 is a small amount in the scheme of things, but we're not taking advantage of it.
We get something through NACO. I don't remember, what do we get? I can't recall what it is.
It's like, well, there's a publication. It's a periodical that we get.
I know the city of Atchison just attended the National League of Cities meeting, which would be somewhere in Los Angeles. I don't know what they get out of it. I've attended one of them before, and it's kind of similar case. There's some things you can get out of it.
I think that this isn't due until, let's see a due date. From 1/1/2019 to 12/31, so probably the end of the year. Why don't I look into it and see what we're getting out of it, and
I mean, there's 20 things we get pay $450 for. We're not getting anything out of it. Search could be $9,000, $10,000.
well, sometimes there's different departments utilize some of those things, and it's kind of remote to us, but
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
vital to them. Okay. That's everything I've got. New business, we can move on to old business. Then county councilor updates. Do you have anything?
No, I don't.
Any new information on the tax sale?
No.
Looking like spring now, probably.
Well, when does spring officially start?
February.
Yeah, I mean, it's still the time frame.
Well, would it be appropriate to adjourn until canvass at 1:45?
You could recess, I guess.
or recess?
I don't know if that's the right terminology.
Yeah, I think, recess would be the, do I hear a motion to recess until 1:45?
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second it.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Recessed until 1:45, where we will canvass the votes. Okay.
It's on. We're going.
Back into open session, awaiting the canvassing of the board, of the election. And there's Michelle. Looks like you need a gurney. Carry those.
Right. Okay. Yes, I'll do that. Thank you. I think we had a really good turnout for our election.
It sounds like it. You kind of have the floor to run this, so.
Okay. I had a lot of help from Mr. Henderson. We spent some hours going through each of our provisional challenged ballots this year. The breakdown is on here. We had 85 total. And we went through them individually and classified them and found the statute and or constitution that coincided with each one of the reasons for the challenge. Those reasons gave whether or not they gave a recommendation as to whether or not the vote should count, which is ultimately going to be the Board of Canvassers, which is the 3 commissioners. So, hold this off. We're going to start basically with the ones that we felt were recommended not to count, and we're going to let you guys decide.
And that's down here in the red?
Correct.
Okay, that's where we're going to start. Will these go in any kind of order according to this?
They should go in that order.
So the first one would be not registered in the county?
I have 14 of them here who are not registered in Atchison County per Kansas statute. Kansas Constitution Article 5 is recommended that they not count.
Somebody needs to make a motion. How it works?
That's going to be the
Well,
best.
the way we've done it in the past is that you vote on each one of them as they come across. So, all
Okay.
in favor of counting them or not?
Okay, so then all in favor of, we'll go in with the recommendation of not counting the 14 votes, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
I'm going to give
Pass 3-0 to not count.
I'm going to give the no's to Mr. Henderson, so therefore they will not be in the office when I take the yeses to count.
Okay, now will those 14 votes be notified that their votes did not count, and for what reason?
Personally, they will not be notified. It will be noted on their records, though.
Okay.
So, if they called in after we give voter credit, they will know. They will get voter credit, but they will know if it was rejected or accepted. So, if they choose to call in and ask. The next batch I have, there should be 10 of them here. And they basically, the voter has moved from outside of Atchison County, attempted to vote in Atchison County, had not re-registered in Atchison County. They were registered elsewhere, but they were not registered in Atchison County to vote here. For K.S.A. 25-3702 and K.S.A. 25-2316 CB, the recommendation is not to count these 10.
Do I hear a motion to not count those votes as according to statute?
I so move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 3-0 to not count those 10 votes.
I have 2 here. Well, we received notification from the Secretary of State's office to cancel their registrations due to the fact that these people had moved outside of the state of Kansas, have registered there and voted there. When they moved back to the state of Kansas, they did not re-register in the state of Kansas. So we were notified by Secretary of State to cancel them. We did so. K.S.A. 25-2302 recommends that they not be counted. There are 2 of them here.
Do I hear a motion to agree with statute and not count those 2 votes?
I so move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed 3-0 to not count those 2 votes.
I have 2 here. Voter was registered in another county. They reside in that other county. They were, however, here on election day and tried to vote here. Their legal registration is in another county. The Kansas Constitution, Article 5, recommends that they not be counted because they are not registered in Atchison County, so therefore shouldn't vote. So I have 2 with that.
2 votes. Do I hear a motion to agree with recommendation to go according to statute and not count those 2 votes?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Passed 3-0 to not count those.
Previously I had one until today. I received another one today. Basically, the mail-out ballot was postmarked after the election. Kansas Statute 25-1132B recommends that they not be counted because they need to be mailed postmarked prior to election, on election day or prior.
That's
have
3
2 here.
3 of these.
There's 2 of these.
Okay.
Do I hear a motion to agree with statute or agree with the recommendation to go according to statute and not count those 2 votes?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed 3-0 to not count those.
I have 1 here. The registered voter was a registered voter of Atchison County. He had moved to another county more than 30 days ago, which is in the statute. If they moved within 30 days, the vote would have been recommended to count. But this was over a year ago when he moved. So this person moved out of Atchison County more than 30 days prior to the election, attempted to vote in Atchison County. Kansas Constitution, Article 5, and Kansas Statute 25-2316C recommends that this not count.
Do I hear a motion to agree with the recommendation according to statute and not count the single vote?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Passed 3-0 to not count that vote.
This one here should be my last on the no-goers, according to recommendation. I have a voter who claimed that they registered through the DMV, which is a legal process, Post Office, State Fair, or NVRA. The county election officer has no record of this registration and unable to verify this registration. The authority of K.S.A. 25-2302 and K.S.A. 25-2421A recommends that this not be counted since we were not able to verify it through the elections office.
Do I hear to go ahead and go with the recommendation, go according to statute and not count this vote?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed 3-0 to not count this vote.
Okay. The next batch I have here is a rather large batch. There are 29 in it. These people basically were registered voters. They moved within the county. They voted the precincts, the new precincts. They completed the new registration card, which is attached here, before voting the provisional ballot. K.S.A. 25-2316CE and K.S.A. 25-2353 recommend that they do count. And since they were voted the correct ballot, that they count 100%, the full ballot.
Any questions on that one? Since that one's a little different and such a large number. Do I hear a motion to go with the recommendation and go according to statute and do count these 29 votes?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passed 3-0.
I have 6 of them here. The registered voter requested advance ballot, but they voted at the polls because no advance ballot was received, but it was verified by the county election officer that they did not vote the advance ballot. They only voted at polls. It is recommended by K.S.A. 25-2908C that these be counted.
Do I hear a motion to go along with?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Yes. To those 6. 3-0.
I have 4. The voter's address was listed incorrectly due to a clerical error. Basically, State Highway instead of Kansas Highway. The city was listed incorrectly on one of them. It was Atchison instead of the city of Lancaster. 911 system assigned new address, same location, just a different address. This is just clerical error. Kansas statute 25-3002B1 recommends that they be counted, which the addresses would be corrected in our system.
Do I hear a motion to go along with the recommendation to go according to statute and do count these 4 votes?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Yes, we passed 3-0. To count.
I have 4 here where the voter registered at the DMV prior to the deadline of October 16th. The application was not forwarded to our office until after. Therefore, when we entered it, it was after deadline, but the process was after deadline, but they were actually registered prior to deadline. There's 3 different statutes, K.S.A. 25-215, K.S.A. 25-2302, and K.S.A. 25-2421A that recommend they be counted.
Do I hear a motion to go along with the recommendation, going according to statute and count these 4 votes?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 3-0.
This next one's, I don't know about this next one.
We had
They can do that? Well, how could they vote if they didn't have showing the ID? How'd they get a ballot?
Well, they got a
Because
provision. They got a provisional ballot, and then they verified it.
Okay.
the polling location.
Identification.
Oh.
You got 6.
ID after election day to clerk.
Oh, where are they at? Okay, I have them here.
2 of them.
Did we skip some?
Not
Nope.
so far yet.
Okay. I have 2. The voter did not provide valid identification at the polling place, but provided valid identification to our county election officer after voting the provisional ballot and before the canvass. So both of these, I have 2 here. Both of them came to the office and showed their ID. There's 2 statutes, K.S.A. 25-2908 and 25-3002B8 that recommends they be counted since the ID was shown prior to canvass.
So when they come in to vote, you ask for an ID, they said we don't have one with us, so they asked for provisional, and their vote would count if they proved that
They have 3 days to come prove their
Okay.
ID. They have 3 days to bring it to us. Which in the meantime, we do have their provisional ballot.
So if they don't
which is stated
show, if
with
they can't
that.
provide it or don't provide it, they wouldn't count.
Correct. But both of them that we have here did come up to the office and show identification. Recommended to count.
Do I
Make
hear
a motion, wait, count.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Pass 3-0 to count.
I had 2 individuals who
They
came to
stopped
town.
in- they
They're
stopped in here.
registered voters. They stopped in here about 6:45, did not have feasible time to get to their polling location. Therefore, we let them vote provisional here due to the timing restraints. We didn't want to take their vote away, so we did vote them as provisional. The Kansas Constitution Article 5 recommends that they be counted.
I make a motion, we count those. Oh, you had something to say?
Well, I thought there was 3 of those. There was just the 2.
I had just the 2.
The motion stands.
Yes, I make a motion, we count those 2 votes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept these 2 votes. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That's 3-0.
I have 2. The registered voter had a different name than on the poll book due to marriage, divorce, or legal proceedings. They completed a new voter registration card with that new information. Per Kansas statute 25-2316C(a), it's recommended that they be counted.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to allow these 2 votes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That's 3-0.
I think I have these 2, don't I? Yep. Advanced ballots received in the office of the county election officer after the mail was checked on Friday, which is the 3rd day following the election. The ballots were postmarked on or before election day, just not received in our office. For K.S.A. 25-1132B, it's recommended that they are counted. Did you want to add to this?
There's maybe a little bit more to that, and that is the deadline is the 3rd day following the election, which would be Friday. It also says in the statute that it has to be the last delivery of mail by the United States Postal Service on the 3rd day following the date of the election. Also, by postal regulations, they are supposed to handle the voting as the top priority. We got the mail on Friday as usual, and then did not go back to check in the afternoon whether or not anything else had come in. So we don't know whether it came in on Friday. It could have come in on Saturday. It could have come in this morning. We don't have any way of knowing exactly when it came in, so my recommendation would be to count it. It came in prior to the canvass, and I think that was really the reason for having the limit on it. So that's my recommendation is to count it. The statute also requires that the Secretary of State establish rules and regulations to implement the statute, and gives the Secretary of State the authority to extend that deadline universally. The Secretary of State has not adopted any rules, and because of that, they have not extended that deadline ever. So my recommendation is to count those.
Any concerns or discussion on that, since that's a little different? Do I hear a motion to accept these 2 votes?
I shall move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 3-0.
I have one here. The registered voter has listed P.O. Box as a resident address. Kansas statute 25-2302 recommends that this be counted.
How do you know that they were voting in which district when they just have a P.O. box? So I don't know how that could be counted.
It's a recommendation on you guys. Matt, do you have anything to add on that statute?
Yeah, have my notes from it.
I would vote no on that. Or I would vote no on that.
So the registered voter came to the polls, or did they have a mail-in ballot?
This one was a application for advanced ballot by mail.
So you sent them advance ballot.
Correct.
But
I think we tried to get a hold of them
based on the residential.
So how did you know which ballot to send?
Based off of their residential address in the system. Because all they used, according to what I'm understanding from Michelle, is what they only used their PO box.
But you knew where they
We had them
resided.
previously registered at a residence address. But when they filled out their application for the advanced ballot, they only used a P.O. box. So It's the assumption that that PO box is still that resident address, but it would be ultimately the canvas decision.
At the election, of course, they sign that they are verifying that they are authorized, legally allowed to vote at the election. The fact of using only a PO box instead of demanding the residential address as well is, I believe, a clerical error by us, by the county. We shouldn't have done that. We should have required the residential address.
That's the statement that they sign on
And
there.
there's the affirmation that I am a qualified elector residing at the address listed above, and I'm entitled to vote in advance voting ballot, etc. So,
I think with that.
Does it give an
qualifying-
address? Does it give an address?
no, but it does reference the West Third address, or the West Third ballot. You can look at it. It's just the bottom after the fold there.
Are we allowed to look at the whole thing or just?
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yeah, you
All
are.
right.
It's just
All right.
that's
I want to make sure that we're not.
It's still sealed. Ballot's sealed.
Okay.
So I'd be totally wrong if I voted no to allow that.
Well, there's a reason why they have a canvas,
It
because
does reference the.
they're fact dependent, and you. I think different people.
That's a great
Reasonable
line.
minds
That's a
could
great
read
line,
that.
bro.
Yeah, I agree. It is. Reasonable minds could certainly differ on that, because it does not. It says that they reside at the address listed above, and there's not an address.
We're not 100% sure.
Jack, any discussion on that?
No.
Do I hear a motion to go with the recommendation and accept that ballot? Die for lack of second. Do I hear a motion to not count this ballot?
I shall move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to not count this vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 3-0.
The last one that I have here is basically that a voter was not registered in the system due to a cancellation that was due to the death of a person with the same name with a different birth date. Someone was
Error on my
erroneously
part.
correct,
Okay.
erroneously canceled due to the same name, different birth date, and the verification was not made. Kansas statute 25-3002B1 recommends that this be counted.
I shall move, Mr. Chairman, that we allow this.
Second.
Counted.
It's been moved and seconded to accept this vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Pass 3-0. I believe we are through.
I think we have, and it looks like I'm going to have 52 ballots here to take to the office and run through the machine. We'll get the report back to you as soon as the machine
Okay.
lets me.
Can you let Jamie know that?
Yes, I will go contact her.
Okay.
And I'm leaving the no-goers here.
Okay.
That way there's no issue. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be right back as soon as I can. I'll send Jamie.
Again, for any of the public that would be watching this, we're approving or not approving these. We have not ever seen the actual ballot. The ballot is sealed in these envelopes, so we can't possibly know what outcome. It's not based on anybody's votes. It's just on the legality of them being able to cast the
Or
vote.
which district they voted in.
Hmm?
Or which district they voted in.
Yes, yes, but just so I make them aware that they're sealed. We have no idea who or
Whose votes we just
yeah,
didn't count.
correct. What happens to these now? Do they just get filed, or do they get destroyed, or?
Well, she retains them, the county election officer retains them in case there's a legal challenge or a recount or something, and they'll be destroyed eventually.
22 months.
Thank you, Assistant Election Officer.
Hi. I actually request an executive session for personnel matters, non-elected personnel.
Sure. Do I hear a motion to go into executive session?
That's
15
what you need
minutes
to read.
with the commission and the tax.
I make a motion to go to executive session.
I have the paperwork for you.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I'll make the motion. I move that the Board of County Commissioners recess into executive session at 2:12 p.m. to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel as allowed by K.S.A. 75-4319B1, and that the purposes of the closed session is to protect the privacy rights of the employee, and that the board come out of the executive session at 2:27 p.m. in the commission room, first floor courthouse, and those present will be 3 commissioners, Pat Henderson, County Councilor, and HR Director Jamie Madison. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pass 3-0.
You're on.
We won't wait for Mary. She was out there. Here she comes.
I'll say she's probably got the
I'd make a motion from a discussion we had in executive session to compensate County Councilor Pat Henderson an additional $2,550 for filling in the absence of Jerry Kolkelman, and the new county attorney just started on Friday.
I may add that this is not something new. This is what has been done in the past.
Do I hear a second?
I second that, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Pass 3-0.
Thank you.
Thanks for filling in.
The other thing I wanted to discuss today was that I received and the commission received a 6-month notice of retirement from Peggy House, administrator at Atchison Senior Village. That should give us time to recruit, select, and train a new administrator. Her and I will work together on updating the job descriptions, posting, and then it is my suggestion that we do a 3-panel interview as we have in the past for department heads going forward. So I will start working on that right away.
I think maybe finding that third panel, maybe with people that would have experience with nursing homes or that type of facility, would be kind of keep that an eye open for that.
Definitely.
So,
yep. Sure will.
yes, we received that, so thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, with that, is there any other business?
Just Michelle.
Yeah. Well, any other business that's here.
She'll call her. She's, yeah, okay.
We ever going to go out and tour the bridges? Or that's something we do on our own?
I've been over them. Have you had a chance to go out and see the new bridges?
Well, I was out that way, but not to look at bridges. We went to a funeral in Holton the other day,
Mm-hmm.
Saturday. So, near a couple of those bridges, I think.
Seth showed us a rough picture of the Pardee Butler Bridge plaque that we approved, and he was gonna get with Chris Taylor. That will be when they build that bridge.
So Chris is holding on to it until.
Well, they're gonna,
I think Commissioner Bauer suggested that we go, since it's something historical, and Chris was up here last week or the week before, and we kind of informed him he was gonna get a hold of Seth. I asked Seth, and Seth said he hadn't heard nothing yet. So I don't know if Seth is gonna get a hold of Chris now or what. The bridge hasn't been started yet, so we're not talking like it has to be done right away. You got, I guess Michelle would, maybe Mary knows what the vote count was. You put that in your article.
vote count for
The election.
Yeah,
Well,
she got a paper.
Oh, okay.
one of these.
No, I'm talking about total votes.
Well, we won't know until this is
This is
done.
gonna be updated, but it's on here.
I see. Okay.
Well, it doesn't have it broken down per race, for the governor's race.
We don't know how many for what
It's got
precinct.
For the
5,448 voters, 47.48%.
Right.
I thought it might be a little higher than that.
You're saying you want her to have an abstract too?
I
She
don't know.
will, she's gotta bring it over for the
Mhm.
approved, so.
Right, for them to sign, but I knew she was gonna have a couple, so I mean, I can,
Well, this is probably the information.
Well, but if, per race, if you want the,
Oh,
official
yeah, I'll probably.
results of the,
But those aren't broken down by precinct also, those
Right.
votes, so, I mean, that could affect, where they came from.
Yeah.
in addition to the votes that were counted on election night, the votes, the advanced ballots that came in on or before Friday have been counted, and so those weren't provisional ballots, but they weren't on the election night list. So, and there were several of those. You may know how many, a dozen maybe.
at least probably. Mhm.
Okay. So those have also been counted, but they weren't provisional ballots, so they didn't have to go before you to decide whether to count them or not.
No, and I believe she changed that number already on the abstract as well, so that way when she brings over that abstract, it will be
Yeah.
completely true and current from what added the provisionals and stuff on.
But it's likely to be different from what you saw earlier, number-wise.
It's mind-boggling when you see like Broward County, Florida, and there's still votes coming in, and they haven't even started the canvass yet. But it's mind-boggling.
I thought they already had the canvas.
They're starting to recount.
What prompted the recount if you have a canvas?
Now, they haven't had a canvas to do the recount.
Well, when did they? I thought that yesterday would have been the first day they could have done the canvass, I believe.
Of course, I know nothing about Florida election law.
Yeah, every state's
I'll
different.
say
Yeah.
every state's different though.
I'm assuming they would have had a canvas.
You had to have a canvas in order to have,
For somebody to challenge the result, you would think.
I think there was lawsuits being filed before the election was over.
I think there's going to be plenty of rich lawyers.
Yes.
Richer.
I know.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Mrs. Becker come down and introduced herself to us today. We all wished her the best. And it was brought up, she can't legally vote if she has a question to go to Copeland, so she has to come to you because now he's a judge and that would be a big no-no.
I think it would depend on the situation, but if there's something that would be solely within his memory that someone said, this was an agreement we had, I think he could be asked about it. I don't anticipate there being a lot of that. And as you know, Jerry's not usually doesn't usually hesitate to give his opinion. So I think he'd be
I
receptive.
just didn't know now that he's judge, if he could legally.
Well, he could probably
Yeah.
comment on process. He couldn't comment on specific cases.
And none of those cases would come before him as a judge either. So, but I don't know what the specific. It's hard to answer a hypothetical about whether or not he could do it. I think it would depend on what the topic was.
Michelle. That's kind of enjoyable to watch TV again now. Without all the campaign ads.
Yeah, it gets worse every election.
I know it. I know.
I've canceled all my TV service, so I'm down to 17 stations, and I'm going through withdrawal.
Did you get that antenna I suggested?
Your son wasn't there. I didn't get that one that day, but I did get one. I think it's similar, and
You got 17 stations.
it's okay. I mean, there's really more. It's probably better quality than what I thought the stations would be. But when you're used to going through 200 stations, and you go down to 17, it's a withdrawal.
You can sign up for Hulu Live or DirecTV now, and there's a bunch of choices.
There's a lot of
You might have to have Apple TV or Roku or something to get it.
yeah, or there's everything from Sling TV and different choices. A lot of those are usually specific, maybe like feature sports or.
I use
like that.
Hulu. I'm very happy with it.
Next time I come up, I'll bring a piece of cardboard and you're right. Help Eric get his TV back. Still on the street corner.
I don't. $60 a month for TV. It just seems like a lot of money.
Oh, turn looks at that.
Well, my TV.
Now, are you in the
I do.
1980s or the 1880s?
1880s.
I bet he got a black and white TV.
I have a flat screen even.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Because I had to. Because my
Is it
one
this
broke.
thick?
No, it's.
Well, I'm talking about
27
that's
inches.
thick.
Oh, thick. No. My old one was. I couldn't hardly carry it.
You know what? You make fun of TV, but that's still pretty cheap entertainment.
Well, somebody said there was a 70-inch TV at Walmart for $800?
I've seen that.
I don't have a wall that big.
How big is that map? If that were a TV screen, what would that be? That's 80 inches.
Well, 70 inches diagonal.
Yeah.
That's all it's
Yeah.
measured.
That's heavy.
So 6 foot would be 72.
So the key is,
That's about, that would be
I
about
keep getting
60,
informed of this by
60.
my younger family members. The refresh rate and the gigahertz and all that stuff's important too. So just, if you don't get the right refresh rate, then you don't get the right picture. And I don't care. I'm just watching that TV right there. They keep trying to give me another one. But they're trying to get me to get myself another one. Let me rephrase that. They're trying to get me.
They didn't deliver one.
Yeah, they haven't delivered it at the house.
See if there's an estimate on
Time
how long.
numbers, yeah.
If not, we could maybe recess it again until.
You mentioned Hulu. Last year, my mom had mentioned that she had heard that it was good. So I bought her a Roku box.
Uh-huh.
And then my nephew went to install it. And he works in that stuff. And he called me afterwards and he said, "Do you realize they own a smart TV?" "No, what's a smart TV?" "Well, it already has this built into the TV." Oh, no, I didn't realize that, or I wouldn't have bought the box.
Yeah, but I think Hulu Live, at least when it came out, there's a difference between Hulu and Hulu Live. Okay, and I think initially Hulu Live required a Amazon stick, and then it later was added to Roku. And that's pretty complicated.
beyond me. Yeah.
I got a 7-year-old granddaughter. She can help me.
Michelle said it'll be about 10
You
more
laugh,
minutes.
that's true.
I know it's so true.
Michelle said it'll be about 10 more minutes, and she has to make a phone call yet, so
You recess.
we want to recess for 10 minutes. Do
I make a motion to recess for 10 minutes till 10 to 3.
Yeah, 10 till 3. Second.
I'll
It's been moved and seconded to recess. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 3-0. We are recessed. Okay. You ready?
You're on.
We are back with the results.
These are the two that I'd like to have signed if I can pass those two first. And then the rest of these are just kind of change the heading on one of them. With the provisionals that we added, I have a grand total of 5,500 voters.
Is that the same?
Yes.
There's two, right? Wait.
The two that you have, Eric, are the two that I'd like to have signed.
Okay.
back.
Two different ones.
She said they're all
They're the same. I changed one of the headings. I added a page.
You got a lot of copies.
Or is there two different?
Nope, it's all the same.
Okay.
7 pages. We had 5,500 total voters for a total turnout 47.93%. We counted 52 of the provisionals out of the 85. And the results are what you have in front of you. I don't know, do you want me to? Do you have any questions in regards to any of the outcomes?
No, I dropped to 16 ahead instead of 17.
What page you on, Jack? That's another one.
Oh, there's a, you know, the thing is sad when these people write your Mickey Mouse.
We have all the write-ins are on the abstract as well.
Henry Falk. Well, I guess that's a township. So. It's an awful close race. For the county commission.
We can congratulate you now.
Congratulations. So
And it was the same way last time, 2014. I remember that. Close, but it was pretty close.
It was close.
I think it was 17 with the election, and then I think Schiff picked up 6 or 7, so I think it ended up 23, 24 votes. Something like that.
do we just go ahead and sign this? Do we need any motion to
Motion
sign?
to approve it. And then, yeah.
Do I hear a motion to approve the canvass of the 2018 election?
I shall move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 3-0.
Just one signature.
3, and she's got 2 copies.
Someone wrote in work.
Exactly. We have one for ballot. They wrote in the write-ins.
Okay. So this board of canvassers.
Canvassers, yes. We were the board of canvassers.
Okay, then there's this board of okay, I see. This one has a line and the other one doesn't.
Draw a line on it. Rectify that for the next time.
Very good.
Thank you.
Any other
Thank you.
questions?
There's only one copy, right?
Yeah,
It's all the same
this
thing.
is all the same thing. I'm assuming, right?
Okay, I wouldn't mind having a copy.
I'd like to have a copy, so.
I will.
That's fine.
I will save to PDF.
I'll get a copy.
I can email as well.
I've got one.
Got one, Jack?
There's still 2. Anyone? Okay, we just have extra. I'm gonna put this in.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay, thank you.
Very
And
good.
I know you've done a lot of hard work with the
The-
election. Thank you.
Well, it wasn't just myself. I had a good team. The equipment was wonderful. Worked out really well. We had very few issues. What issues we had were taken care of immediately, and the staff that we have out there worked really hard.
Are there any
So
precincts
they-
where the voting machine wasn't well adopted?
Me and
the
Eric,
machine wasn't well.
I forgot my coat, so I come in to help him carry ballots. So we would take turn. Every other one I'd ask, they all love the new voting machines. I was kind of surprised.
The electronic, the
Mhm.
touch screen.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I was at my polling place, everybody was asking for paper ballots.
Mhm. We had basically one precinct that or polling location that did not have any paper or of the touchscreen. I think everyone else had quite a few. We had a good percentage on some,
Well, I had to wait, and I think if I would have known I had to wait, I would have probably.
and that's the trial and tribulations of getting new equipment and not knowing. In the past, they were never used because they were always specified as ADA. I don't want that. I want it to be a ADA compliant, but I want it to be a technical paper ballot because I won't get rid of the paper ballots because it prints out your ballot, but it kind of streamlines the ballot for the voters so they're not looking at the big picture. They can look at one race at a time. And I like that for that aspect. But we have some polling locations that really use if they have voters that really like it. So that's something that in the future, my goal is to get more of those machines because for the money, those machines I think are very beneficial.
Didn't you say that you had some early voter trials out in the county and they didn't? You had 5 or 6 voters at one.
Satellite voting.
We had some remotes. We had Wednesday. I don't know exactly what day. Wednesday the 24th. We had some remotes, and on the 26th we had Cummings, Lancaster, Effingham, and Arrington. And then we had extended hours on Saturday. Between those 5 different remotes and the late hours, we had over 51 votes. So I feel it was beneficial. It was a lot more than what it was
As
2
many
years
people
ago.
voting as possible.
Yep, absolutely. So I think it's beneficial, and I think in 2 years when we do it again, because we'll do it for the generals, the midterms, and the general elections, we'll have more people that'll come, even more. So we'll take the vote to them if we can.
Okay.
I moved to adjourn at 3 o'clock.
I second that.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.
I'll let you know if these ballots.
Oh.